Welcome back to NHS Hack Day in Cardiff, 19th NHS Hack Day. And today, just now, I've got with me Keith Grimes, who
Hello.
You've started a Facebook group
Yes,
about
I have.
VR.
Yeah, that's right. So I started a Facebook group called VR Doctors, which everyone is allowed to come along. You don't have to be into VR. It can be VR or augmented reality or whatever. And you certainly don't have to be a doctor.
Yeah.
We have patients, other clinicians, developers, but it's all there to discuss clinical, virtual and augmented reality.
Yeah. And you are, not surprisingly, working on a VR project today.
It was my sole intent, other than to come here and join everyone and have fun. It
Yeah.
was to look at a clinical project. So actually, funnily enough, I wasn't the only person. In the pictures, there were 3 pitches.
Yeah.
So I teamed up with James, who actually was the first person up, and he asked about pitching on the use of virtual reality, people having blood samples, which is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I was looking at using virtual reality for helping with dressing changes, and then there was a third pitch to do with the use of 360 video for education. So I think there are two projects taking place.
Yeah, there are. There's another group. We'll hopefully have a chat with them too.
Yeah.
So this is not your first time to an NHS
No.
Hack Day. How many have you been to before?
This is my third.
This is your third?
Yeah.
And what makes you coming back?
Because
What makes you keep coming back?
That's brilliant. It's a really, really fun thing to do. It's lovely to come to Cardiff for a start,
Yeah.
meet up with you and everyone else
Yeah.
here. I mean, the NHS Hack Day, the idea behind it of kind of geeks that love the NHS and want to use their particular skills and interests to solve problems and do so in a way that isn't waiting around, but just getting on and doing it and sharing things is really it's sort of close to what I would like to do as well. So to come meet a bunch of people doing the same thing is amazing. And
Yeah.
and I actually was here. I came here for the first one back in 2015 and had a brilliant time. Then followed up with one in London 2016. And I've actually signed up to go on other ones, but had to pull out because of work, which is a shame. You know,
Yeah.
I think work should be letting me off
Yeah.
to come along to these things.
Some people do actually get their
Yeah,
employer
yeah,
to let
yeah.
them off, because that is one of the things that we do run this at the weekend
Yeah.
rather than during the week. What do you think about that? Or
I think it works nicely. I mean, the thing is, my clinical work is in a walk-in centre principally, so that's 7 days a week, and that's the only thing that sometimes gets in the way. I think it makes a lot of sense to have it at the weekend because you're going to maximise the number of people that are going to be able to come along, and it also means that some people who are maybe unsure about coming can think, oh well, I'll give it a go. That's the same about the idea of rotating it in different cities as well. As a person might say, well, I'm not so sure about attending in Cardiff if they live like in Manchester, but there's going to be another event nearer to them later on. And I think earlier when we were in the pitch room, you asked how many people were new to the event,
Yeah.
and there was loads. There were loads
yeah,
of folks.
well over 50% of the people here have not been to one before, which
Yeah.
is brilliant. I mean, we have had a good turnout today.
Yeah.
But so yeah, probably more new people, but it's
Yeah.
brilliant. But also you've got the continuity of people who haven't been here before,
Yeah,
so you get a
yeah,
nice
yeah.
kind of community sort of feeling developing.
And that community persists between the events as well, doesn't it? And so with NHS Hack Day and the NHS Hack Day Twitter account and NHSHD hashtag, there's also, I believe, a Google group, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a Google
There's
group,
the Slack
Slack.
group, and there's even a Reddit group as well. I know
Yeah.
that Helen was saying that you set that up too.
Yeah.
So conversations and projects that start here continue between times as well,
Yeah.
which is another really useful thing that comes out
And
of
it's
this.
the network, isn't it? People stay in contact with each other,
Yeah.
go off and do other projects. Yeah.
And I think another thing that so the first time I came here, I had my own head on. I was like, oh, I'm going to do something for me, and it was Alan, I think it was, who is interested in the work of ataxia. Is that Alan?
Yes, that's Alan, yeah.
And he set me straight because I came with my own ideas, but I actually had the opportunity to sit with him, and he told me about the problems that he'd had on the project we worked on then, which was called
Yeah.
WIB, which was a patient information sharing resource. And it completely took me out of this sort of narrow, very doctor-centric focus into something that was all about, well, what are the actual problems?
Yes.
Not coming with a solution, but coming
Yes.
and really listening to the problem, and then going with that over the weekend. And of course, using the tech and the gadgets, and
Yeah.
that's all great, but the problem has to come first, doesn't
The
it?
problem has to come first, and that's
Yeah.
what you say to people is like, tell us about your problem,
Yeah.
what is the problem, and trying to work often out what the problem is
Yeah.
sometimes the hardest bit.
I know.
Once you've really worked out what the problem is, you can get on with solving the solution.
Well, that's it. And the other thing is that I was dreading coming along here and presenting a problem, and a person saying, "Oh, it doesn't need VR." I'd be like, "Oh no!" But I am happy to see that VR is needed. So that's great.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, it's great always to have you back. So thank
Always
you
awesome to be
very,
here.
very much.
That's all
It's
right.
great. Thank you.
Thank you.